I'm JR.
And today we have a couple of things in store for you. First thing we're going to do is we are going to do the holidays for the week.
And today
Monday.
Yep. Monday, May 17th, we have National Cherry Cobbler Day, National Pack Rat Day, National Graduation Tassel Day, and National Walnut Day. Pack Rat Day, I have a few of those in my family, but we're not going to get on that today.
I have a couple in my family too. Trust me, when we cleaned out my grandparents' house, we found CB radios from the 1930s. On Tuesday, tomorrow, May 18th, we have National Cheese Souffle Day, International Museum Day, National Visit Your Relatives Day, and National HIV Vaccine Awareness Day.
How about I leave my relatives where they at? Then we have Wednesday, May 19th, which is National Devil's Food Cake Day, which sounds delicious. Emergency Medical Services for Children's Day, International Plant a Vegetable Garden Day, and National May Ray Day.
Right. May Ray is supposed to celebrate sunshine.
Oh.
Because May is supposed to bring...
You're the one that does all the research on
I know.
this. You want me to go pick them? I'll find some crazy stuff.
May is supposed to be a sunny month, and not that we've seen a whole lot of sun this month, but May is supposed to be sun, and you're supposed on Wednesday it's supposed to be celebrating the sunshine.
April showers bring May flowers.
Right. And then Thursday we have National Pick Strawberries Day, National Quiche Lorraine Day, National Be a Millionaire Day, and National Rescue Dog Day. I'm an animal lover, so I'd rescue a dog every day if I had the chance to bring him somewhere. Well, that was one of the main reasons that I went ahead and left that one. So on Friday, May 21st, it's National Strawberry and Cream Day, National Endangered Species Day, National Bike to Work Day, and National Wait Staff Day.
Wait Staff Day. You should always appreciate your wait staff every time you go to a restaurant, even before the pandemic.
Right.
You know?
And I mean, right now...
Regardless of how much money they make.
They make horrible
That's not the
money.
point. Regardless of how much money they make, you should treat them every day how they treat you.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how much money they make. If they treat you good, you treat them good.
I know, but I mean... Waiters and waitresses, they make like $2 an hour, and then they have to rely on tips, and then you get some stingy person that doesn't...
Well, that's why 9 out of 10 of them, 1 out of every 10 waitresses or waiters have an attitude.
I know, because they don't make any money.
But regardless of how much money they make, if they want to get good tips, they have to give you good service.
But still, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. I mean, there's no other country in the world that waiters and waitresses make like money like that.
I've never looked that up.
They don't make that.
It gives me an idea to look that up one day to see like what wait staffs like waitresses make in other countries. And what do we have?
Saturday.
Saturday. National Vanilla Pudding Day. No, thank you. Mine's chocolate. National Solitaire Day. National Maritime Day. And International Being You Day.
Or Day for Biological Diversity. It goes hand in hand. I know, but it's because of translation. It has the two separate meanings in English. But
always be you every day.
Right. And then on Sunday we have National Taffy Day, National Lucky Penny Day, and International Turtle Day.
Taffy, toffee, whatever.
It's taffy. It's like the...
I know what it is. Laffy Taffies. It's that stretchable candy. Right. I know what it is. Saltwater taffy.
If you notice, I try to have the first one on each day is some type of food, because every single day there's some type of food being celebrated. So I try to find at least one food for each day, and then if there's some type of pet or animal day, I try to
the people that don't know us and where we're from in this region, just this state, they find a reason to celebrate any kind of food, any kind of festival.
We celebrate food.
Orange festival. They have the orange festival. They have strawberry festival. They have the peach festival. They have the watermelon festival.
We have gumbo
fest.
We have
a fest for almost every kind of food. They have a festival to celebrate. We Oyster celebrate. Day. They have an Oyster Fest, an Alligator Fest. For every single damn food they have in the South, they try to freaking celebrate with a festival. I mean, I remember when I first heard about the watermelon festival, I'm like, in Louisiana,
we have a festival for any type of food.
Any reason to celebrate
you can think of, we can probably find a festival somewhere in Louisiana about that kind of food.
Maybe we should start adding that to our weekly thing, like find 1 or 2 festivals and just
right now until the pandemic is completely over.
Well,
and
it doesn't matter. Not when they're having them, just like the history, not history, but you know, just like say, hey, you know, we used to have this kind of fest, you know, because they even have a pecan festival.
Yes, they do.
So.
Yes, they do. Okay, the next thing we are going to is our good story, our good feeling stories. I only have 2 for you today. I have the first one is this gorilla. A mother took her baby. What happened now? A mother took her baby to the zoo, and
where?
It was in Boston.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, and she was going to she went by the enclosure for the gorillas, and the gorilla just I'm on the wrong thing.
Does the gorilla have? I mean,
the gorilla. No.
Is a gorilla don't have their own baby?
No, she doesn't have her own babies. Actually the gorilla is a male. I think 7-month-old Pablo.
So and he's only 7 months old, so he don't have no kids.
Right.
But he's a male.
But he sat there and looking at the baby and just making eyes at the baby and stuff for the whole time the mother was there, and she just thought it was it's like. Mother.
She said, Kiwi. No, go down. Kiwi the gorilla. No, scroll down under the thing, under the picture.
It's Kiwi.
It says Kiwi the gorilla.
Oh, Paula's the baby. I'm sorry.
Yes, so Kiwi does have a baby.
Couldn't stop
Kiwi
staring
the gorilla
at the
couldn't stop staring at the boy named Canyon through her zoo exhibit. So she's 39 years old.
Right.
Scroll down. See, it says right there. She's not the first time she's taken a special interest in someone's offspring. You know, so it just goes to show.
Yeah, she's very mature.
Right there. We share a lot of our DNA with gorillas.
Right, and it seems like Kiwi just took a loving
a lot of animals, a lot of female animals that have babies, even the ones that haven't, it's that motherly instinct that they say we derive from animals. So.
And if you see here, the zoo people say that she's very maternal, so she.
Right.
She takes interest in the babies and the kids that.
Yeah, she says you'd think it was even closer after watching Kiki with her babies.
Right.
You know.
Right, and then the other story that I have is definitely a feel-good story.
Because they just said Kiki didn't put the baby down for the first 2 months, so.
Right. This one is about a teacher. Where is it? I don't remember the teacher's. I got it from the Today Show. Every day she drives. Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Every day after school, even whether it's online school or if they're having classes in school. After school, the teacher drives 20 minutes from the school to this one student of hers. She's a first grade teacher, and the student is suffering with leukemia. And every day, the teacher goes to this little boy's house. She goes to this little boy's house. She has a partition that she puts between them so that she can go over the lesson and the work and give the little boy his homework every day so that he doesn't fall behind while he is getting his chemotherapy
after the pandemic starts opening up, that's an idea to start like a non-profit, so it wouldn't have to fall just on the teachers,
right?
To do stuff like that. Well, I know, but sometimes I know, but they don't have a lot of them that we know of,
right?
Because I'm all about helping people, kids, people in general. Right. I mean, even college students that can't get to school, that need their work,
right?
You know, that need their lessons, that want to go to college, but they can't get to, the school, and they don't have a lot of stuff. Like, say they're already enrolled and halfway through the semester, they have to, but they still want to continue. You know, somebody can volunteer to go pick up the work and bring it to them,
right?
Or if they don't have a computer, I don't know how it just you help somebody,
right?
It's not all about what people can do for you.
Right.
But the world that we live in today,
people don't like to help.
People don't like to help their fellow human out.
Right.
They think that, well, if I do something for you, what do I get in return? I used to have that mindset when I was younger.
I did too.
But now it's like, I don't even care about being rich.
Right.
I don't even care about anything,
Right. And I mean, that's the 2 stories that I wanted to focus on today. But I did find that on the Today website, the show from today, they do have a special section that they try to highlight things like what we do. They try to highlight stories from around the country about people who do good, and they try to highlight things like that. So I'm gonna go on there at least once a week and look for stories and stuff, because I mean that's something with today's society. Everyone in our society is so focused on me. What can I do for me? And they don't care about other people. I mean, with people not wanting to wear masks, you wear masks because you care about other people.
This whole thing is
that
ridiculous now.
And then I put out a video last week about manners, and manners is all about showing another person that you care about them, that you care how they feel, and that's what manners are about. That's what they were originally for, is to show respect to other people. Now, if someone gives you a reason not to respect them, that's one thing, but if you should always go into a situation where you show respect first.
Well, I've told you since we've been together, I give everybody a little chance at respect, a little trust to see if they're going. I don't put my full trust or respect to people when I first meet them. Not at all. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if it's a person in a news story that's been good. You have to proceed with caution, because you don't know them personally or their personality.
Right.
So again, you give everybody a small chance until they show you a reason not to give them that respect.
But I mean, I
blacked us out for a minute. We were still recording, but I couldn't see us.
Right, but I still think that you should first start a conversation, or you should start a relationship or anything with. You start with that aspect of manners, and then if they give you a reason not to show them respect or not to have manners, that's different. But when you first start out, I mean, when you go into a store, you start out with the respect and etiquette. But then if someone is a jerk or an asshole to you, that's when you change.
My problem is I don't know the difference between being nice. My mannerisms come off as
not always. I mean, not always. You don't always.
You'd be surprised.
No, most of the time you are very nice, and now sometimes you do interrupt conversations when people are talking. But
I try to approach things as reserved as possible, because I don't know how other people are going to react to certain situations.
But our topic today that we wanted to talk about, we've both talked about our weight loss journey and the weight loss things that we go through right now. And our topic today, we wanted to talk about how people get go off of the rails with a journey like
whether it be by their own choice or by no fault of their own.
Yeah.
Because these support groups that we are in,
right.
I've seen a few people talk about they've had weight loss surgery and it's been 10 years and they wound up needing a revision because they've gained weight for such and such reason.
Right. And the one thing that we both learned when we started going through the preparation for surgery is that this is not a temporary thing. The surgery, right. Having the surgery is one step in an overall process to make your life, your entire life, more healthy. Whether it's eating correctly, it's your relationship with food, it's your relationship with exercise, your everything, and everything is all together, and it's a lifetime of work. You don't just do it for 2, 3, even 5 years and then go back to your old habits, because then you're going to gain weight. You gain weight for a reason, because you didn't eat right, you didn't exercise.
And it's just like anything else.
Right.
You know, when you give up cigarettes, when you give up drinking,
right.
when you give up marijuana, it's a lifetime tool you have to work at.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that tragedy can't derail you.
Right. Because it definitely will.
It can.
But you have to remember why you started this. And yes, you have a tragedy. Someone close to you dies, or a child, a family member,
right.
a parent.
You can fall off.
And you fall off the wagon, but you can get back on.
Right. You can
there's
always
nothing.
Get back.
There's nothing that says, "Oh wait, I had a piece of cake, or I even ate a whole cake. I can't do this anymore." No, you can. You just start your next day. You get back on, you watch your diet, you start over again. And it's just like with alcoholism, with everything, you just start over, you start again. You don't just give up. And that was the whole thing, is you don't give up. This is your life, this is your health that you're talking about, and you have to stick with it.
And there's some things that you don't expect. Like if you get hit with a disease and it puts you into the depression because you got diagnosed with cancer, so you just start going off the rail and just turn to your comfort, which is eating.
Right.
It's going to happen. Right. And whether you eat a lot or you're little, we had this discussion the other day in the car. Right. I was talking about my mom.
Well, yeah.
My mom, for people that don't know out there, has been through 4 cancers. She survived all 4. She's about to be 80 years old. She's got 1 kidney. She's got COPD. My mom has a lot of health problems.
Right.
It's not if something's going to happen to her.
It's a matter of when. Because honestly, none of us...
it's just when.
Right. I mean, none of us are guaranteed to live forever. I mean, we're all going to die. I mean, basically... We're all going to die eventually, whether it happens tomorrow or whether it happens... And
I've been smoke-free for like 3.5 months. She's been smoke-free for about 6 months, something like that. And I told her if my mom does pass away, yes, I know it's going to happen, but I'm never fully prepared. But in my head, instead of turning to cigarettes, I would probably turn to food because I can get back on track from eating food, but the cigarettes will put life on me that I don't want.
Right.
I have worked so hard to quit smoking. Cardio sucks, but it helps.
It helps.
I mean, I'm trying to do 5 to 6 miles a day throughout the whole day because it's going to help me.
Right.
But when it comes to the weight loss, they do have a small percentage that after 5 or 6 years they say, oh, well, I can go back and I can just eat anything I want. I'm not going to put on weight.
But you will.
But you
can't. And that's just it.
Not everybody. But some of them might go eat what they want and they put on weight. Some of them might not. Their metabolism might get better and faster because I don't know their body makeup.
Right.
But you have to be vigilant.
Right.
If you go back to bad habits, regardless if you had the weight loss surgery or not, you go back to bad habits intentionally,
and it's going to affect your body. It's going to affect your life.
Well, I can't say it's going to affect everybody.
Right, but it will affect them just differently.
Right. There's a chance that you could have 2 people that had the weight loss surgery.
Right.
5 years apart, same date, same everything. Mm-hmm. One can go back to bad habits and probably not put on no weight at all.
Right.
And another one go back to bad habits and get lazy and put on the weight. We don't know their body's makeup, but in general, what we're saying is it's a tool.
Right.
Yes, there's going to be times where there's going to be things out of your control that you can't control that you might put on weight.
Right. But you have to remember.
But if you can do your best
to try, even if you fall off, you get back on.
Look, I'm not
perfect. Start back over again. Right.
I still eat junk every now and then.
Right.
But I don't eat a lot of it. I enjoy a few pieces of candy here and there, piece of cake here and there, some ice cream here and there.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
The goal is, if you want to eat junk every now and then, try not to eat it late at night.
Try not to eat it late at night, and
unless you work overnight.
Right.
Unless you work overnight. If you work overnight and you eat during the day before you go to bed, that's different.
But I mean, even if you have one day, you had a bad day, you feel horrible, you want cake, you want comfort food, you want those carbs, you want the sugar.
Some people might say no, and they might not even do
it. But if they do it, and then they feel bad about themselves, but just because you fall off or just because you had that piece of cake or you had those carbs, that doesn't mean that you can't start back over tomorrow and say, okay, I'm going back on, I'm going back to no sugar, no carbs, or low sugar, low carbs. You just pick back up the next day. Just because, you might have lost a little progress, but you keep going, don't quit. That's one thing that both of us, we've put it in our videos before. You don't quit. You keep at it. Yes, I suffer with bipolar depression. He has bipolar. We both have dealt with depression. We both have severe problems with depression, and especially in our past. And the one thing, you just have to keep working at it. You have to keep telling yourself, I'm worth it. You have to tell yourself that you're worth it.
You take care of yourself.
Right. I mean, both of us, we love each other. We support each other very much. We are there for each other with the journey that we're going through, with the food that we eat and everything. But we both had to come to the decision to have the surgery, to do the weight programs, to go into the gym. We had to come to that for ourselves. We both work out, and we both are on this journey for ourselves, to make ourselves feel better, to make our health better, and things like that, not for each other. We help each other, but it's not, I didn't have the surgery for him, and he didn't have the surgery for me. We did it for ourselves.
Right,
and that's the most important thing.
You don't have to get, after the surgery, if you work out, you don't have to do it to build muscle or be massive. You can do it just to make yourself feel good, because, you could do a 35-40 minute gym workout
Right.
And you can feel good. Just to get toned.
That's what I'm doing the weights basically to tone my body, not to build all kinds of muscle. I walk for the cardio, for my heart and the cardio, but I do the weightlifting to tone up. And it's not for him. It's for me to make myself feel better. And the thing is with weight loss and with your health, it's something that you have to be a little selfish about. You have to say, I want to be here for myself. I want to feel better. I want to feel good when I go do things. I want to feel
affirmations every morning. I have somebody I follow on Instagram, and every morning she posts to her story her affirmations.
Right.
I feel good. I am a queen. Or you look at yourself and you tell yourself,
right,
you look good. I feel good. I'm going to crush today.
Right. Or you're worth it. That's the one thing that I tell myself every day is I am worth it to me.
Right.
To keep up with my program, to eat right, and to do the things I know that I want to do to feel good. I get out of bed in the morning and I feel good. I get up, I put my feet on the floor, I take my medicine, I take my weight, and I feel good. I know 5 years ago when you and I got together, I hated waking up. I hated getting out of bed. I wanted to sleep. I didn't want to do things because I felt like crap all the time.
Monday through Friday, we up at 5. Saturday and Sunday, we up at 6.
Right.
I lay in the bed sometimes, and like this morning, I pulled the cover over my head, and I'm like, but I still got up. I lay there for 5 minutes, but hey, I still got up.
I mean, I know for most of my life, I slept until 10, 12 o'clock unless I was working. But the weekends, I slept until 10, 12 o'clock.
I couldn't see myself sleeping past 6 o'clock.
And now I wouldn't. I couldn't. I mean, typically, I'm awake before my alarm goes off. This morning, I got up to go pee 5 minutes before my alarm went off.
Yeah, you're like, there's days you're like, let's just lay in bed and watch TV or watch movies when it's raining. No, I just don't feel right laying in bed all day watching movies. If we're gonna watch movies, we can sit up and watch movies.
Right. I mean,
I just don't feel right.
I've gotten to where I don't.
Unless I get sick. Right. I don't see myself laying in bed all day watching TV.
Right. And see, 7, 8 years ago, before you and I got together, my last relationship was breaking up. I had to move in with my mom, my mother. I stayed in bed all the time. I was in bed.
Let's see if the timeline's correct. I was going through the same thing around 2014,
right.
2015.
Right. I stayed in bed all the time. I watched TV before I had a laptop. My laptop stayed on my bed, and I was playing on the computer or I was watching TV, and I didn't get out of bed. I had gotten up to almost 280, 290 pounds. I barely took a bath, took a shower. I didn't want to do anything. I mean, and I had my son at the time, and I just didn't want to do anything. I hated it. And I finally have gotten to a point, watching you go through the surgery, watching people on at least the one person that I watch on YouTube, she went through the surgery, and it's like inspiring to me. Okay, if you could do it, she could do it. And I finally got to myself saying, okay, I can do this. I'm worth
What's the latest I stay up now? 11 o'clock, maybe?
Right.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, we joke around and say we're getting old.
Right.
When I start going to bed at 8 o'clock, then you can call me old.
I typically go to bed between 11 and 12.
When I start going to bed at 8,
you go to bed between 10 and 11, and I usually go to bed between 11 and 12.
But when I'm asleep by 9 o'clock at night, then you could call me officially old.
I know.
But basically what we're saying
we're up early, though. And I mean, we're up, we go to the gym, we work out, we make sure everything is ready for the day. We get everything that we need to do done early in the morning. That way the afternoon is what we do what we want to do.
Basically, what we're talking about, though, is tragedies happen.
Right.
Whether it's somebody, and we're not talking about just people that have surgery. We're talking about if you change your lifestyle,
right.
Because I've known people that's been on the same journey as us that's never had surgery and they've lost weight.
Right. I do follow a few people on Instagram who they didn't have the surgery,
and
but
they could have the same thing happen. Right. Something could trigger them to go back to bad habits.
I mean, you can lose weight without having surgery. some people can lose weight without having a surgery. We both had gotten to a point where we could not lose weight without the surgery. I before we got married, I took 2 months and cut down my calories and walked 2 miles a day, and I still couldn't lose weight. And I had gotten to a point where I could not lose weight no matter what I tried. You had gotten to a point where the size that you were, you couldn't lose weight.
Well, and I think the problem was when I got to that point of weight loss surgery.
Okay. We had to pause for a minute because he was making noise.
Yeah, he was growling at something in the backyard. But it doesn't. But I think before I decided to have the surgery, I didn't know. I think my issue was figuring out the right relationship with food.
Right.
Because now I've learned portion control.
Right.
I still eat things I love, but if I would have realized that back then, maybe I would have lost a little bit weight before that. But it just anything what I see these people talk about they have to have a revision to an R&Y or a sleeve or something because they either had some medical issues from the first surgery and then
lot of them
like
go back
acid
to
reflux.
Eating. Right.
Well, not a lot, but they got some that go back to bad habits, but they got some that they can't predict what could happen.
Right.
Because I've seen people 3 months after their weight loss surgery have developed bad acid reflux, so they have to go in and have a revision to a different surgery.
Right.
That's not any fault of their own.
And see, for me, I had bad acid reflux before surgery, but since I've had surgery, I have not had acid reflux at all. My acid reflux and everything is completely gone. I have not dealt with that at all. I have bottles of antacids that I used to take that I don't need anymore. So, I mean, the one thing that your dietitian told us both and my dietitian told us was the main thing is you have to look at food as you eat for energy and
to fuel your body.
You don't eat for enjoyment. Food is not meant to be something for enjoyment. It's something
you can eat for enjoyment if you do it
but you have
the right
to be
way.
Careful. You have to
if you
small
do it
portions and not every day.
I eat, like I said before, 80% healthy, 20% junk.
Right.
And
I don't do that right now, only because I'm still in that first.
Well, I still tell you to be careful with those popsicles because just because they say sugar free doesn't mean they have other stuff in there that could be diverting. Right. But that could be diverting your weight loss progress too, because I've heard all my life, this stuff is bad for you. That stuff's bad for you. I've heard, and if I keep hearing one more thing, you need to eat vegetables to stay healthy. No, I don't. It just aggravates me. So, everything in moderation, unless it's a medical reason, can be worth it. Unless the doctor tells you, you need to you shouldn't have salt because it's going to cause you to have.
Right. If if the sodium,
that's different.
Right.
I quit sugar, but I didn't have to.
Right.
But I did.
I quit sugar. I mean, I did have to because of the surgery, but I don't want to go back. You quit for a little while after your surgery, but then you were able to put it back. But I think in the past year, you put back in a little too much, and now you're backing off of it again. And
backing off? I completely.
Right. You've cut it back out.
Well, let me rephrase that. Granulated sugar. I still have the creamer that has about 5 grams of sugar per serving.
Right.
But it's not. I don't know. Granulated sugar just sits in your body a lot longer than
and for me
sugar.
Right now, having regular sugar would cause a dumping syndrome for me. So I know the last time I tried to have any sugar after surgery, it caused dumping, and I don't want that again. That to me, that is so painful. Dumping syndrome is when your stomach and your bowels just expel everything, and to me that is so painful, and I just do not want. I don't want to go through that again. I'm not interested in having that.
Basically, one thing I want to say about the whole thing about people putting back on their weight is, if you do it without if it happens for some fault of your own,
right?
That's not medical necessary or a tragedy in your life. figure out what triggered you to go back to bad habits.
Right.
You know, sit back and figure out what caused you to fall off the rail.
Right.
If you do it on purpose and you say, oh, well, my life's not worth it, then you might need to see a psychiatrist. You might have depression, or you might have a psychological issue.
Right.
You know, 9 times out of 10, that's probably what's going on. You know, if you start telling yourself, oh, I'm not worth it, I'm just going to eat what I want, you could be going through a bad breakup.
Right.
You know, it might be emotions. You know, it might be something that you can't control, because the underlying thing is, if you go back to bad habits, 9 times out of 10 is something that you don't see what's going on in your life.
A lot of times it has to be. A lot of times it is psychological.
Sometimes it's just they don't care,
right?
Or they just something bad happened to them. Somebody's belittling them or bullying them or putting them down, regardless of what they look like.
Right.
Because we all know that it doesn't matter how perfect your body is, somebody's going to find a flaw to make fun of you, regardless.
Right. I was made fun of most of my life, and as I've gotten older, I've realized who cares what other people think. I mean, to be honest, and I mean, yes, I get that there's a lot of people in this world who look at the physical body as a starting point of a relationship, whereas neither one of us do, but a lot of people do that. And to me, I have always looked at a person as who they are mentally, because physical can always change. You know, the physical person, a person's physical body can always change.
Oh,
and
personality can change too. So
yeah, but the body naturally changes. As you get older, you naturally change. Your personality doesn't always change. I mean, yeah, you go through changes here and there, and you grow as a person, but it's different. And I
guess basically what I'm trying to say with this whole subject is, if you fall off the rail by no fault of your own, after weight loss surgery, after you change your life, and it's by no fault of your own, you can always bounce back. Right. And if you do it by a fault of your own, don't complain. Try to figure out what caused it. Don't make a complaint like, oh, I don't know why I gained all this weight back.
Right.
You just didn't take the time to figure out why.
And if you
or if somebody knows and you listen to advice, somebody says, oh, well, I see that your husband is belittling you, and maybe that's why you're eating more. Maybe that's why your habits are going back, because he's making you feel bad, or the wife's making the husband feel bad.
That is something that is important. I mean, we've both seen that, is having a good support system.
Right.
I mean, people, they can do it.
Because of weight loss surgery.
A person can do it all by themselves. I mean, but you have to be very strong mentally to do that. We both have a good support system between the two of us, and then also Marcus, our son. Our son helps us. He is a good support system. Your mom sometimes helps out with the support, but we support each other very much, and that's the main thing. But if someone has fallen off, and you can Google mental health support systems in your area.
Even if you don't want a support system, you can look up different ways to try to figure out yourself.
Right. But a lot of times when people fall off because of a mental issue, they really should see somebody, a therapist or a psychologist, just a few times, just to talk out.
Or even a support group for eating habits, because I've seen a lot of people talk about that. Like they had, like in the Louisiana support group for people that have food addiction, that they're afraid after the surgery they're going to continue having that food addiction, and they have support groups that have meetings for that.
Right.
I know my trigger. Boredom.
Right.
When I get bored, I want to eat.
I have found, since I started this journey, that I have an oral fixation. I constantly want to have something in my mouth, or constantly, and I've found this out since I started this journey, and I have since started chewing gum as a way to cope with this, because before, whenever I would get that feeling, to me, in my head, it was me telling that I was hungry and I needed to eat something, but it wasn't. I wasn't hungry. It's just I wanted to chew on something.
Yeah, and mine's boredom. I told you that the other day. I noticed that when I get bored, I reach for something, whether it's chips or a piece of candy or you know, things like that. But I don't overdo it.
Right.
I still know in my brain how much I should take of a food without overdoing it. You know, I in my brain, like the other day, I was eating some gummy lifesavers, and instead of finishing them, I gave them to our son.
Right.
I was like, you know what, here, take them, because I know in my head I want to finish them because I like gummies.
Right.
I like lifesaver gummies. I like gummy bears, gummy worms.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, here, take them, because I know boredom. I'm just gonna.
Right.
And then I'm gonna feel bad in myself, like, oh man, I shouldn't have ate all it.
Right.
Like the other day, that free
right.
bar,
I got a free good, like a almond bar.
It was like an almond sea salt.
Right,
nut.
and I should have only ate half of it.
It wasn't it was a healthy one.
Right.
It was at the Friosk. It was a healthy bar. It was only about that big, but she shouldn't.
Right, I should have only ate half of it because I had I had finished lunch about 5 minutes before, and I should have either waited or only ate half, but I ate the whole thing, and I suffered. My stomach started getting uncomfortable, and I did suffer with it, and I know that I have that issue, but that is about all the time we have for today, though. We need to wrap up, and I want to tell everyone thank you for coming to our channel, and if you like, please like and subscribe. Leave us comments and any questions that you have down below, and we will be back next week. I'll be back on Wednesday, he'll be back on Friday, and we'll both be back on next Monday.
And remember, you are worth it.
Yes, you are.
Like, subscribe, share, questions, comments. If you think the puppy's cute, you can talk to him. You can say something to him too. He don't mind.
Right.
You know, he'll answer back, maybe.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty. Well, you have a good day, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.